Have you ever stood in front of your kitchen pantry, looking at all the options, and wondered, what should I eat today that will actually help me feel good, not just full? Because after 70, food stops being just about flavor or habit. It becomes about something deeper, how we feel, how we move, and how long we thrive. You know, there's something powerful about this stage of life. We're no longer rushing through things the way we once did. We start to see patterns more clearly. We notice what lifts us up and what slows us down. And food? It plays a bigger role than most people realize. It's not just about avoiding disease. It's about choosing life, energy, joy, mobility, clarity. That's why in this video, we're diving into something I call the longevity diet. Not a trend, not a cleanse, and definitely not a list of restrictions. Instead, it's a way of eating that helps your body stay strong, your mind stay sharp, and your heart keep beating beautifully for years to come. And the best part? It's not complicated. It's not exotic. It's actually quite simple. Just a few foods, 5 to be exact, that you can start weaving into your week, one plate at a time. These foods aren't about perfection. They're about protection. Think of them as your daily allies, quietly supporting your brain, bones, heart, and more with every bite. Let's start with something that often gets overlooked, but is truly one of the most powerful foods for longevity: beans. Yes, beans. Lentils, black beans, chickpeas, navy beans. These humble little things are packed with fiber, protein, and nutrients that keep your digestive system humming and your blood sugar steady. Why does that matter after 70? Because your metabolism slows down a bit. You may not process food as quickly, and it's easy to gain weight or feel sluggish after meals. But beans do the opposite. They give you lasting energy. They feed the good bacteria in your gut, and they help lower bad cholesterol, all while keeping you full and satisfied. I remember a woman I met in her late 80s. She had this glow about her, this quiet energy. I asked her what her secret was, and she smiled and said, "I eat beans every day, just like my grandmother did. Keeps everything moving." And she was right. It wasn't just an old wives' tale. Science backs it up. In the world's longest-lived communities, beans are a daily staple. But here's the key. It's not just about eating them plain. You can get creative. Add them to soups, toss them in salads, blend them into dips like hummus, or even sneak them into casseroles. They're incredibly versatile, and once you get used to cooking with them, they become second nature. Now, speaking of foods that protect your body quietly and powerfully, let's talk about berries. Blueberries, raspberries, blackberries. They're like tiny jewels from nature, and they carry more antioxidant power than most people realize, especially blueberries. They're not just delicious, they're smart food. And after 70, your brain needs smart food. One of the biggest concerns people have as they get older is memory. Forgetting names, misplacing keys, losing track of what you were saying mid-sentence. It can be frustrating, even scary. But the good news is food can help. In fact, studies have shown that people who eat berries regularly may slow cognitive decline by as much as 2.5 years. That's not magic. That's just nature working the way it's meant to. The compounds in berries, especially anthocyanins, reduce inflammation, protect brain cells, and help improve communication between neurons. That means clearer thinking, better memory, and sharper focus over time. And let's be honest, berries are one of the easiest foods to enjoy. You don't need to cook them. Just rinse and eat. Toss them on oatmeal in the morning, blend them into a smoothie, or enjoy them as a snack with a few almonds or a dollop of yogurt. Your brain will thank you, and so will your taste buds. So now we've covered beans for strength and digestion, and berries for memory and clarity. Let's move into a food that supports your heart and helps reduce the kind of inflammation that sneaks in with age. Healthy fats, especially those found in fatty fish like salmon, sardines, and mackerel. You probably heard of omega-3s. These are the healthy fats that reduce the kind of silent inflammation that's linked to heart disease, arthritis, and even depression. And they become even more important after 70, because our bodies don't produce them on their own. We have to get them from food. I've talked with countless older adults who noticed something surprising when they started eating more omega-3 rich fish. Their joints hurt less. Their mood lifted. They felt more clear-headed. It's subtle at first, but it builds. That's how the longevity diet works. It doesn't give you a jolt like caffeine or sugar. It gives you momentum. Graceful, lasting strength. And if fish isn't your thing, don't worry. There are other ways to get those healthy fats, like flax seeds, walnuts, or algae-based supplements. The point is to find what works for you, so it becomes something you can stick with and actually enjoy. Now that we've covered some of the foundational foods, beans, berries, and healthy fats, it's time to look at how we can build on that even more. Now that we've covered some of the foundational foods, beans, berries, and healthy fats, it's time to look at how we can build on that even more. Because longevity isn't about a single miracle food. It's about how different pieces come together to nourish your body in a balanced, lasting way. And one of the most powerful but often overlooked additions to your daily plate is leafy greens. I know, eat your greens sounds like something your mother used to say, right? But here's the thing. She was onto something. Leafy greens like spinach, kale, Swiss chard, and even romaine lettuce are packed with nutrients that support nearly every part of your body, from your vision to your bones to your brain. Let's focus on one benefit in particular, your blood vessels. After 70, the health of your arteries becomes more important than ever. We want them flexible and open, not stiff and clogged. Leafy greens are rich in something called nitrates, which help your blood vessels relax and improve circulation. That means better blood flow to your heart, brain, legs, everywhere. A woman I spoke with once told me her doctor was amazed at how stable her blood pressure had been at age 82. She laughed and said, "I have my spinach smoothie every morning. Doesn't taste like a milkshake, but I think it's keeping me upright." There's truth in that. Even just one serving of leafy greens a day has been linked to slower cognitive decline and better cardiovascular health. And no, you don't need to live off of salads. You can saute them in olive oil with garlic, stir them into soups or stews, or blend them into smoothies with berries and a banana. The trick is consistency. Make it part of your routine, and soon it won't feel like an effort. It'll just be part of how you care for yourself. Now, let's bring in a food that ties all of this together and supports your gut, your immune system, and even your mood. Fermented foods. Things like yogurt, kefir, sauerkraut, kimchi, and miso. These foods are full of probiotics, the good bacteria that live in your digestive tract and help everything run smoothly. After 70, your gut starts to shift. Digestion may slow down. You may notice more bloating, discomfort, or irregularity. But beyond that, the health of your gut is directly linked to your immune function, your energy, even your risk of chronic disease. And when your gut bacteria are out of balance, your whole body feels it. Fermented foods help replenish the good guys. They bring balance back. I remember a man in his early 90s who swore by a few spoonfuls of sauerkraut with lunch every day. He said it wasn't about the taste. It was how it made his stomach feel afterward. Like someone turned the lights on in there, he said with a grin. The key is to start small. Maybe a little yogurt with breakfast, a spoonful of kimchi on the side of dinner, or miso soup on a cool evening. These small, simple choices can make a surprising difference in how your gut and your whole body functions. And let's not forget, when your digestion improves, so does your nutrient absorption. That means all the other good foods you're eating, they start working better. It's like giving your body a better engine to run on. So at this point, we've got beans for steady energy, berries for a sharper brain, healthy fats for inflammation, leafy greens for circulation, and fermented foods for gut health. When these all come together on your plate, they don't just feed your hunger, they feed your life. But here's something I want to say, and I hope it sticks with you. This is not about being perfect. It's about being intentional. Nobody eats the ideal diet every day. We all have our cravings, our favorite comfort foods, or those lazy evenings when cooking feels like a chore. And that's okay. Longevity isn't about punishment. It's about consistency. You don't have to give up everything you love. Just start adding in more of what loves you back. Add beans to your soup. Add berries to your breakfast. Add a handful of greens to your lunch. Add a spoonful of yogurt or sauerkraut to your plate. These aren't drastic changes, but over time, they can lead to a healthier heart, a sharper brain, stronger bones, better digestion, and more vibrant energy. Now, we talk a lot about food. But what I hope you're also hearing is that this isn't just about what you eat. It's about how those foods make you feel. Because after 70, you deserve to feel nourished, supported, respected by your own body. And with the right foods in your corner, that feeling is within reach. Let's keep going. Now, let's talk about one last food that deserves a spotlight, not just because of its health benefits, but because it brings something just as important to the table: comfort, warmth, and a sense of tradition. I'm talking about whole grains. Foods like oats, barley, quinoa, brown rice, even whole grain breads and pastas. These are often the backbone of meals that feel hearty and satisfying, especially when the weather cools or when you just want something that fills you up and keeps you going. But here's the thing: whole grains aren't just filling. They're deeply nourishing, especially for a body that's changing after 70. What makes whole grain special is that they're unrefined, which means they still have their fiber, their vitamins, and their natural structure. And that fiber, it's one of your body's best friends. It feeds the good bacteria in your gut, helps regulate blood sugar, keeps your digestion moving, and can even help lower cholesterol levels. And if you've ever been told you need more fiber, you're not alone. Many people over 70 don't get enough, and that can lead to all sorts of issues, from constipation to fatigue to a weakened immune system. A simple bowl of oatmeal in the morning or a handful of cooked barley tossed into soup can be the difference between dragging through your day and moving with steady energy. I remember chatting with a couple in their late 70s, married for over 50 years, and they told me that every morning, without fail, they had a bowl of steel-cut oats with cinnamon, walnuts, and blueberries. They called it their long life breakfast. And when I looked at them, clear eyes, steady hands, quick smiles, I believed them. There's also something wonderful about how versatile whole grains can be. You can enjoy them sweet or savory. They're easy to batch cook and store. And unlike highly processed foods, they don't cause big blood sugar spikes, which helps protect your heart, your brain, and your waistline. So if you're looking for a way to stay full, satisfied, and well-nourished, whole grains are a simple and powerful place to start. Now, let's take a moment to step back and reflect. The foods we've talked about: beans, berries, healthy fats, leafy greens, fermented foods, and whole grains, they're not exotic. They don't require a trip to a specialty store. They're not fads or miracle pills. They're foods that have stood the test of time, and they all work together to create a body that feels good and stays strong. What I hope you're hearing in all of this is that the power to feel better, to move easier, to live longer, it's already in your hands. It doesn't require changing everything overnight. It just starts with making one better choice. Today, you might decide to swap white bread for whole grain, or throw a handful of spinach into your soup, or keep some berries in your freezer so you can blend them into your smoothie. Or maybe you just open your fridge and ask, what here is really feeding my body and what's just filling space? It's not about guilt. It's not about perfection. It's about living a life that feels full of vitality and purpose. Because the truth is, your 70s, 80s, even 90s can still be years of growth, of joy, of deep connection with your family, your community, and yourself. And if your diet can support that, if your meals can give you the strength to play with your grandkids, walk to the park, wake up feeling rested, or even dance a little in the kitchen, then every bite is more than just food. It's an investment in your freedom, your mobility, your memory, your spark. So I encourage you, take these foods to heart. Try them, taste them, make them your own. Start small, but start now. And I'd love to hear from you. What are some of your favorite nourishing meals? Do you have a feel-good food that always lifts your spirits or brings back a special memory? Share it in the comments. Your story might inspire someone else who's just getting started on their journey to better health. If this video helped you or made you think a little differently about your plate, give it a like. It helps the channel. But more importantly, it helps spread this message to others who need it. And if you like more videos like this, simple tips, honest advice, and science-backed guidance to help you thrive after 60, make sure to subscribe and join our growing community. You are never too old to start making better choices. You're never too far gone to feel better than you do today. Your body still listens to the care you give it, and it still rewards you for every small act of love, every walk, every stretch, every mindful bite. So here's to your health. Here's to meals that nourish, habits that heal, and years ahead that feel full and vibrant. Here's to living your best life at any age.